Well, our beloveds, our another is beginning to see how some of the twists and turns make sense. The day began with neutrality, unable to really connect to any energy because it was the pause between yesterday and tomorrow. And then we continued her journey. We gave her some experiences. We showed her some synchronicities. We shared some of our thoughts and opportunities. We brought her home. We showed her how not to over-explain or beg for attention or benefit from someone who overstepped a boundary. There were so many little successes today, and yet she cannot see or connect any of the dots other than to say, I am tired. We are teaching her how she is to trust that each day will bring her the people and the opportunities that will offer her growth, either pulling her forward into new opportunities or testing her ability to simply say, no, thank you, in one form or another. That is it. That is where she finds herself now. We present her with opportunities, and she can either pursue them or say, this feels off somehow, and I'm not going to pursue it. Even her mind right now has no clarity, as the day was that disjointed from her perspective. She is unable, and to a certain extent, even unwilling to connect the dots, because there are certain skills or abilities that neurodivergent people lack or have, depending upon which prism you look at it from. Some neurodivergent people are unable to read social cues, and so they make faux pas. But even within her faux pas of not being able to read the room by other people's standards, we offer her opportunities by being open and authentic and not recognizing that some of the words that she shares, such as, I am in the voice hearing community. I hear voices. I am what others would call psychic or a medium. But I have compassion for those who hear voices, who are overly medicated. So she is within other people's minds, connecting the dots between psychosis and psychics, because they've never given it thought. Now in our another's mind, she just shares what we share, what feels right in the moment, and she no longer filters herself when the words that she shares come from love, compassion, commitment, and collaboration. And when we can use our another in this particular manner, where she simply speaks authentically and originally, it allows us to use her as a tool, as a mechanism, as an ability for us to present ourselves as holy sacrifices, if you will. We teach others what we believe that they need to hear in that moment in order for them to be pulled forward or to retract through the words that we wish to share with them, through our another, the vehicle, because she finally, totally trusts that what comes into her consciousness is meant to be shared, that we can use her as a living and holy sacrifice, as a member of the human community, the two-legged community, but one who trusts so implicitly that our will is greater than hers, because she has no more agenda other than to be a living and holy sacrifice for the commitment, if you will, and not into the psych world, right? The psychiatric hospital, but into the collaborative communication style of the future. When others let go of their desire to control or manipulate conversations one way or another, and instead are authentically themselves, that is where we can begin to do our work, where the magic lies, where the epiphanies lie, where the messages lie, where the stories lie. Finding yourself is not about being anyone other than who you choose to be in exactly that moment, and the next, and the next, and the next, without any agenda as to what you're going to build, what you're going to create, or where this is going to take you. And the most important way that we can explain this to you is when you go on vacation. You don't go to create anything other than beautiful memories. Finding that flow of just being present, watching the sunset, the sunrise, the dolphins swim, the whales or the orcas breach the water, watching the clouds go across the sky, watching Yosemite erupt, whatever it is. And yes, we said Yosemite erupt, not Yellowstone, as our another was expecting. The visual and the word did not align. But she trusts us so much to say Yosemite erupt, though it makes no sense, because there is purpose in everything that we choose to say through and with and to her. Believing that you are a magical being who can create a different future, not only for yourself, but those within your sphere of influence, that matters. And when you really believe it and live it, that is where the magic comes in. We are training our another to believe more in magic and less in her worries, because there are certain things that we are connecting out there in the ether that she cannot even begin to fathom. That there are others who are following her, who believe in her, who want to meet her, whose story is dependent upon her story, because she just shares what we ask her to. Believing in yourself means that you no longer matter. It is your story that matters, if that makes sense. Not you, but your story and your description of what the story looks and feels like. When you find that version of you, when you hear your story played out over time, and you believe that you matter, not only now, but also in the past and in the future, because everything is synchronistically timed to work together in the now, that is where the magic comes. So when you listen to this message, don't try to make sense out of it. Just listen to it and allow us to spin a story about who you are and why you came and why you matter. And allow us to tell your story through your mouth. When you share what needs to be shared in each moment, when you meet people, trusting that the words that you choose to speak come from us and not from your consciousness. It comes from the unconscious, tethered part to the outer world. That is where you reside, not within your brain capacity. You keep thinking you are looking for your soul, when your soul is already there. It just wishes to be turned on. And that just means that you stop thinking and instead you just start being. And how do you be? By not trying to control anything and just experiencing each moment so viscerally that you can't do anything or be anything other than that authentic person whom you wish to express in each and every moment. Being you wasn't meant to be this difficult, but you all got pretty far off of the beaten path. And now we're just trying to harmonize the sound and the music of this planet through each of your individual ohms. Om. 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 Find that within yourself, and you will find your true voice, no matter where you are or with whom you are speaking. It will not matter why you are speaking, just that you are, because in that moment you will share only absolute truth and nothing else. And that, our beloveds, is where the magic spot is, and where the universe will begin to shift course into where it is that we are trying to draw you, sway you, or reflect you. And so it is. Namaste.